Hello everybody, my name is Isaiah Taylor of the Autistic Modeler Society, and in this series of videos I will be detailing how I built my own version of the Space Station Freedom. The Space Station Freedom was a proposed concept for a space station that was developed during the 80s and into the early to middle 90s. It was proposed to be a counter space station to the Soviet space station Mir. And so Freedom was supposed to be the answer to that. Now, Freedom, actually, in all fairness, is a progenitor to the current international space station that we have floating in space now. Actually, it's been 25 years. 1998, 2023, around 25 years. And actually continuously habited for around 22 years. So for 22 years we've had people in space, permanently that is. But the Space Station Freedom was the original concept to the International Space Station, as I just said. So I want to build a model of it. Now, there is no current, well, not really current, but there was no model for the space station that was ever made commercially. But I've decided to make my own. And how are we going to do that? Kit bashing. So kit bashing is when you take various model kits together, you combine them, and then you build something that you build like a kit that's never been built before, or you build your own, fan kit or a special kit that that you like. So that's what I'm going to do with the Space Station Freedom. So how am I going to do that? Well, over the holidays, I got several several models that I'm going to use to kit bash to build the Space Station Freedom. One is this 144 ISS kit. This is a Revell kit. It was distributed in 2000. As you can see, it's a pretty decent size kit. Pretty big. It's a very large box. So that's going to be the kit that I'm going to use for the main truss assembly, which is what this is down over here, and modules to connect to the main truss. And actually the later iterations of Freedom had a integrated truss structure similar to what we have on the current ISS, which is what this is. This is actually what the space station looks like now, with the exception of that that Russian science solar platform. This was not added, but everything else you see here was, with the exception of the crew escape vehicle, which is what that is down here. So this is going to be the ISS. This is going to be the main truss component that I'm going to use. Like I said, 144 kit. As you can see that over there, 144. And everything in this build will be 144. Okay? And another thing I'm going to use are the power satellites. The power satellites were a kit designed, both a power satellite and a power satellite with a space shuttle, were both designed in the mid-80s by Revell, mostly to promote the nascent space shuttle program, which was designed to actually build the space station. Okay, so following along, we have a power satellite and we have the ISS kit, the International Space Station kit. Both are 144. And last but not least is I'm going to be including 4 Space Operations Center kits that are going to be on different prongs protruding from the central integrated truss assembly. And these are also 144. These are the space operations centers, which are I'm going to assume are laboratories and workstations for manufacturing that were also released by Revell, also in the mid 80s. So combining the Space Operations Center, Space Operations Center, the power satellites, and the ISS kit, I'm going to be designing my own concept of the space station Freedom. And here are some of the kits that I'm going to be using for the power satellites here and here and here. Right? So we have around 3 or 4 different kits that I'm going to be using to kit bash and make this space station. It's going to be a pretty big one. It's going to probably, I want to say, main truss will probably be maybe 2 feet long, maybe a little bit less than that. It's going to be pretty big. It's going to be a pretty intricate kit, and I cannot wait to get started. So this is mostly an introduction video on how I'm going to be actually doing this, how I'm going to be doing this project, explaining how I'm going to build this kit, and how I'm going to make this model build work. Again, this is going to be a kit bashing kind of a thing, where I'm going to assemble this kit, basically using several concepts that were developed in the 80s and the 90s for the space station, but adding my own take and feel to it. So, thank you for watching, and in part 2, I am going to explain how I'm going to build these solar arrays. So these are obviously going to be the power for the station. There is the primary, there is the secondary, and there's the tertiary power setup that I'm going to use. 3 would be building the truss. 4 would be video 4 would be building the modules, and then video 5 would be final assembly.